He called me safe and boring in front of everyone. Now he's single, unemployed, and I'm moving in with the one guy he hates most. Honey, pour yourself a massive glass of something strong. I'm talking the whole bottle, because the tea I am about to spill is piping hot and it burns going down. You think you've had bad dates? You think you've dated narcissists? You haven't met Tyler. This man didn't just cross the line, he snorted the line, erased it, and then drew a new one just to trip over it. We are talking about a man who stood in the middle of a crowded party with a drink in his hand and a smile on his face and ranked me, his current girlfriend, dead last against his ex-girlfriends, out loud, with witnesses. But don't worry, I didn't get sad, I got even. Let me take you back to how this nightmare started so you understand the level of audacity we are dealing with. I'm 29. I work as a supply chain manager for a big manufacturing firm just outside of Chicago. It's not a sexy job. I don't wear Prada to the office, and I don't spend my days sipping lattes on a rooftop. But you know what? It pays. It has benefits that actually cover dental. And it allowed me to buy my own 2-bedroom condo 3 years ago when the market took a dip. I drive a 2020 Toyota RAV4, paid off, certified pre-owned. I got it for a steal, threw in all-weather mats because Chicago winters are disrespectful and I take care of it. Basically, I have my life together in that boring, responsible adult way that apparently acts like kryptonite to men who want a chaotic, manic pixie dream girl. I had been single for 2 years before I met Tyler last October. My dating history was tragic. I kept getting dumped because I was too focused on my career or not spontaneous enough, which is code for I have a budget and I'm not going to fly to Tulum on a Tuesday on a credit card I can't pay off. Then I met Tyler at a mutual friend's game night. Tyler worked in hospital administration. He was cute, dressed like he had a Pinterest board for business casual, and drove a leased BMW that cost more per month than my mortgage interest. But at the time, I was charmed. He seemed like he had his act together. He talked about travel. He had a nice apartment that I later found out his parents subsidized, and he seemed normal. We started dating, and honestly, it was easy at first. He loved that I owned property. He loved that I could cook. We fell into this domestic routine where I'd make dinner, roast chicken, veggies, the works, and he'd sit at the island keeping me company, which mostly meant scrolling through TikTok and showing me videos while I chopped onions. But then the red flags started popping up like daisies in spring. We'd go out to dinner on weekends, not normal places. Tyler only wanted to go to the places. You know the ones, exposed brick, Edison bulbs, and appetizers that cost $24 for 3 shrimp. He would spend 10 minutes photographing the food. I'm not exaggerating. He'd move the candle. He'd make me use my phone flashlight to fill the shadows. By the time I could eat, my food was lukewarm. But I played along. I thought, hey, compromise, right? He picked the movies. He picked the music in the car. If I suggested a sci-fi movie, he'd wrinkle his nose and say, let's see what the guys are saying is good. And we'd end up seeing some indie art house film that bored us both to tears, just so he could tweet about it. His friends were the worst part. They were this group of loud, status-obsessed climbers, the type of people who ask, what do you do, before they ask your name just to see if you're worth talking to. And then came the party. It was mid-March. Tyler's friend, Brittany, a girl who I'm pretty sure exclusively communicates in passive-aggressive compliments, was throwing a birthday bash at her loft. Tyler had been hyping this up for weeks. I put on a nice dress, did my hair, and brought a bottle of Veuve Clicquot because I was raised right. 2 hours in, I'm in the kitchen, trapped in a conversation about cryptocurrency with a guy named Brad, when I hear Tyler's laugh. It's that loud, I'm the center of attention laugh he does when he's 3 cocktails deep. I look over into the living room. Tyler is holding court on the white leather sofa, surrounded by Brittany and 3 other girls. And then I hear my name. Yeah, but honestly, if we're comparing her to Ashley, it's not even a competition, Tyler says. The girls giggle. My stomach drops into my shoes. I freeze. The crypto guy is still talking about Bitcoin mining, but all I hear is the blood rushing in my ears. Okay, but rank them, Brittany squeals, clapping her hands like a seal. You have to rank them. Do it. Now, a normal boyfriend, a decent human being, he would say, that's disrespectful, or I'm not doing that. Tyler, he leans back, takes a sip of his whiskey, and gets this thoughtful philosopher look on his face. Okay, fine, he says, loud enough for half the room to hear. Ashley is definitely number 1. That girl was a firecracker. We'd just book a flight to Miami at midnight. She was wild, just purely fun. The girls nod like he's preaching gospel. Then, probably Jessica, he continues, counting on his fingers. Jessica had taste. She knew wine, she knew art. She really knew how to make a man feel like a king, you know? Very high class. My jaws clenched so hard I think I chipped a tooth. I'm standing 20 feet away. He hasn't seen me yet. Then probably Courtney, he says. Courtney was sweet. Wrote me poetry. Super romantic. He pauses. He looks around the room. And then he locks eyes with me standing in the kitchen doorway. Does he look ashamed? No. He smiles. He waves. And then Jane, he gestures to me with his glass. My current girl. She's very stable. The room goes silent. Even the crypto guy stops talking. Stable? Brittany asks, her voice dripping with pity. Oh, totally, Tyler says, nodding enthusiastically, like he's complimenting a tractor. I mean, she's got a solid job. She owns her condo. She's practical. That's important for the long haul, right? You need a base. I stood there for 5 seconds, processing this. My boyfriend of 5 months just publicly ranked me 4th out of 4 exes because I'm practical. I'm the Honda Civic he settled for after test driving the Porsche. If you're already shaking with rage, hit that like button because, honey, I haven't even gotten to the part where I ruin his life yet. I walked over to the couch. My face was calm, too calm. Hey, Ty, I said, can I borrow you for a second? He gets up, still smirking, and follows me into the hallway. Did you seriously just rank me last against your exes in front of everyone? I asked. He looked confused. What? No, I didn't say last. I said 4th, and it's a compliment. You're different. You're reliable. Reliable, I repeated. So Ashley is fun, Jessica is classy, Courtney is romantic, and I'm reliable like a dishwasher. God, Jane, don't be so sensitive, he groaned, rolling his eyes. It was just a game. The girls were pushing me. You know, I didn't mean it like that. And that was the moment. That was the click. The moment the rose-colored glasses didn't just fall off, they shattered. You're right, I said softly. He smiled, relieved. Thank you. I knew you'd get it. I should try harder, I said. Exactly, he nodded. Maybe be a little more spontaneous, you know? No problem, starting right now. I turned around, walked back into the party, grabbed my coat, took back the bottle of Veuve Clicquot I brought, which hadn't been opened yet, and walked out the door. Tyler followed me to the parking lot, yelling, "Where are you going? You're embarrassing me." I got in my paid-off RAV4, locked the doors, and drove away. He texted me 16 times before I got home. "You're being crazy. It was a joke. Come back." I didn't reply. I went home, poured myself a glass of that champagne, and started planning. Because remember, I'm the practical one. I'm the organizer. And let me tell you, when a practical woman decides to dismantle your life, she does it efficiently. Step 1, the eviction. Tyler had basically moved in, his toothbrush, his 5 different hair pomades, his clothes, his PS5, all at my place. I spent that night boxing everything up. I'm talking everything, even the half-used bottle of sriracha he bought, in the box. Step 2, the logistics. I realized something. Tyler was on my phone plan because he complained his was too expensive. I logged into Verizon, click, removed, sent him a screenshot. Your line is disconnected from my account. You have 24 hours to port your number before it vanishes. Step 3, the locks. I called an emergency locksmith at 8 a.m. on Sunday. By 10 a.m., my condo had new smart locks with a camera. Cost me $300. Worth every penny. Tyler showed up at noon, hungover, trying to use his key. I watched on the camera as he tried it, jiggled it, and then started pounding on the door. I opened it, shoved 3 boxes into his arms, and said, "You're free to go find someone who ranks higher. Ashley, Jessica, or Courtney, take your pick." He tried to argue. "Babe, stop. You're overreacting. I'm not your babe. I'm the stable option, remember? And the most stable thing for me right now is to not date a man who disrespects me." I slammed the door, then I blocked him on everything. Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, LinkedIn, goodbye. But here is where the story gets delicious. Tyler worked at a large hospital system, and hospitals are like small villages. Everyone knows everyone. There was a guy named Dave who worked in data analytics at the same hospital. I had met Dave exactly twice, once when I picked Tyler up and once at a charity gala. Both times Tyler had been rude to Dave. He called Dave a nerd behind his back and made fun of Dave's car, a Subaru. Dave was quiet, sarcastic, and frankly, kind of hot in a I actually read books kind of way. 3 days after the breakup, I'm at the grocery store, the one near the hospital, and I bump into Dave in the frozen pizza aisle. Jane, right? He asks. Formerly Jane and Tyler, I corrected. Just Jane now. Dave's eyebrows shot up. You dumped him, finally? I laughed. Word travels fast? Jane, Dave said, grabbing a pepperoni pizza. Tyler is a nightmare. He's been complaining all week that his crazy ex stole his phone number and kicked him out. I assumed he did something to deserve it. He ranked me fourth against his exes at a party, I said. Dave stopped. He looked at me, dead serious. Fourth? Is he blind? We ended up talking in that aisle for 45 minutes. Dave told me everything. Apparently, Tyler had a reputation at work for being a superficial climber who judged everyone's outfits and sucked up to the doctors while treating the support staff like dirt. Dave, on the other hand, Dave was cool. He owned a house, a fixer-upper he was renovating himself. He had 2 cats named Carl and Alt, and he thought spending $300 on dinner was stupid when you could make better pasta at home. We exchanged numbers, just as friends, obviously. We started texting, memes mostly. He sent me a picture of Tyler wearing a ridiculous fedora to work with the caption, "The King has arrived." I sent him a picture of my empty, peaceful apartment. A week later, we went for coffee. Then dinner. Real dinner. Burgers at a dive bar where the lighting was terrible, but the food was amazing. We talked for 3 hours, no photos, no performance, just vibing. Dave loved that I was stable. He thought it was sexy that I knew how to fix a running toilet. He was impressed with my 401k strategy. It was like finding water in a desert. Make sure you're subscribed because the update I'm about to drop is going to make you scream into your pillow, Tyler found out. Of course he found out. Tyler started stalking my routine. He showed up at my gym. I saw him on the treadmill, watching me in the mirror. I switched gyms. He showed up at my favorite coffee shop. I started making coffee at home. Then he saw me and Dave. We were walking out of a movie theater, a sci-fi movie that we both wanted to see, holding hands. Tyler was in the parking lot. I don't know if he followed us or if it was just bad luck. He stormed over. Dave, seriously? You're dating the IT guy? Dave stepped in front of me. I'm a data analyst, Ty. And yeah, she upgraded. Tyler looked at me, his face purple. You're dating him to get back at me. This is pathetic, Jane. He's boring. You guys are just 2 boring people being boring together. You know what's not boring? I said, smiling. Silence, peace, and a boyfriend who doesn't need to humiliate me to feel big. We got in Dave's Subaru and left. Tyler spiraled. He started filing complaints at work against Dave. He went to HR and claimed Dave was creating a hostile work environment by dating his ex. HR looked at the complaint. They looked at Dave, who is a model employee. They looked at Tyler, who was already on thin ice for being late and missing deadlines because he was too busy trying to get his phone number back. HR dismissed it. They told Tyler to grow up. Tyler didn't stop. He started posting sad boy content on Instagram, photos of black screens with captions like "loyalty is dead" and "females only want the bad guys until they need a wallet." My friends, who had all sided with me, by the way, were sending me screenshots. We were dying laughing. Then the legal action happened. I got served papers, small claims court. Tyler was suing me for $2,000. His claim? Unjust enrichment and emotional distress. He claimed I owed him for the investment he put into the relationship and for the cost of the emergency locksmith because I illegally locked him out. I called my lawyer friend. She laughed for 5 minutes straight. We went to court. I walked in with a binder. I had receipts for every dinner I paid for. I had the text messages where he admitted he didn't pay rent. I had the lease agreement that was in my name only. Tyler showed up with his mom. Yes, he brought his mother. The judge, a no-nonsense woman who looked like she had 0 time for foolishness, read Tyler's claim. "Mr. Smith," she said over her glasses, "you are suing your ex-girlfriend because she broke up with you and changed the locks on a property she owns?" "She evicted me without notice," Tyler whined. "Were you on the lease?" "No, but..." "Did you pay rent?" "I bought groceries sometimes." I handed the bailiff a spreadsheet. "Your Honor, here is a breakdown of household expenses. I paid 100%. The groceries he refers to were primarily protein powder and craft beer for himself." The judge dismissed the case with prejudice. She actually told Tyler, "This is a courtroom, not a therapy session. Case dismissed." Tyler tried to talk to me in the hallway after. Jane, look, I'm sorry. I really am. I messed up. The dating pool out here is trash. Ashley is crazy. Jessica is broke. I didn't realize how good I had it. I looked at him. He looked tired. His suit was wrinkled. He looked like a man who realized he threw away a diamond to chase glitter. You called me stable, I said. And you were right. I am stable. Stable enough to know I deserve better than fourth place. I walked away. Dave was waiting for me in the parking lot with iced coffee. Update: the fallout. It's been 6 months since the party. Tyler got fired. Turns out when you spend all your time filing frivolous HR complaints and stalking your ex instead of doing your job, hospitals let you go. Last I heard, he's working at a car rental agency near the airport and living with his parents again. Brittany and the Woo Girls, they stopped inviting him out when he couldn't pay for bottle service anymore. As for me, Dave and I are doing great. We moved in together last month. We bought a new house, a fixer-upper with a huge yard for the cats. We spent last weekend tearing up old carpet and painting walls. We were covered in dust, eating pizza on the floor, listening to an 80s playlist. At one point, Dave looked at me, wiped a smudge of paint off my cheek, and said, "You know, you're my favorite person to be bored with." I smiled. "I'm pretty fond of you too, nerd." So, to anyone out there who has been called too practical or too safe or boring because you have your life together, don't change. Because somewhere out there is a person who is looking for a co-pilot, not a passenger. And the trash, it usually takes itself out. End screen with narrator smiling. So, question for you guys. Would you have kicked him out that same night, or would you have waited to exact a slower, more painful revenge? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this tea, hit subscribe. I've got plenty more where that came from. Bye.